Thank you, Char. Talking about the Paris game. You guys, I went through most of the VODs from this Grim, and you guys did kind of crush them. So
Wait, didn't we kind of like body slam them?
Yeah, every map I think you held them on first, except for this one. So
it was more of a choke slam.
So let's talk about this composition. I actually really like this composition, especially for this map, because of this tight choke. And the only other flank is this rooftop. This bunker works out really well here. You can use the pillar and this wall here to set up your shield. And your shield could be kind of at this angle to protect you from this side. Just as a small note, lots of people like to play the Pharah at this corner. Use a conch against this pillar and knock you off the front and then push into you. So your Orisa will get knocked out front, and then you lose your shield, and then eventually you lose your Bastion without getting an ult stack. But they're also running a good comp to counter your bunker. So anyway, let's talk about the bunker. Everything is great. I even like the Junkrat choice here. I like to choose a Hanzo here, because Hanzo is a monster and can spam down this choke just as well as Junkrat can, and he is better against a Pharah if, say, the Bastion is distracted, melting someone in the front. Also, you have Baptiste, who can take care, is a hit scan, so he can help pressure the Pharah if need be. You're all in great positioning. The only thing I would probably change here about your setup is Pyrex plays up front at first. Don't use your boosters to get here. The doors are about to open. You can see what's coming and then fly back. That's the only thing I can think of. That gives you a little bit of advanced scouting. It's not as necessary on this particular map, but like on Vlaskaya, if you play on top of the rooftops, you can see and then fly over, and there's no real risk unless an Ana hits a magic sleep dart on you out of the corner of their eye. Out of the corner of your eye. So you set up this pretty well. You can hold this choke. You can watch this corner. And then and then let's talk about their comp. They're running your multi-DPS Vol comp that is very popular with Paris and is getting more and more popular with 2CP in general, but Paris especially because of this tight choke, trying to push through with any shield tanks is a disaster. So their end game is to play for ults. They're looking for picks with the Hanzo and the Pharah. The ball can come in and disrupt, either knocking you forward or knocking some of you back so that there are less up here. And the Sombra is trying to build EMP as fast as possible. So let's see how this game goes. So they've got a good comp to counter you. You've got an appropriate comp to hold this first. I'm going to turn on. So there's a call for the ball. We've got chokes coming in. Okay. So first thing, this is great. Pyrex goes back to contest the ball, so the ball doesn't get a tick. Kind Hand turns around, port him. Great. So that Mercy can stay on the Bastion. But the only thing that went wrong is right here. Ryder shoots out a halt, gets attached, pulls out Sombra, I believe.
I think so.
I think it's Sombra. Yep. But I think she was invisible. Was she still invisible when that happened? Pause.
Does halts remove invisibility?
It does not. It doesn't do damage, so it doesn't remove invisibility. But I didn't think it connected to you if you were invisible. So,
I mean, we can see if she decloaked.
right. She did not. And then she decloaks when she gets the trap on her. So, that's an interesting thing that I think is a bug, but good to know. But when you get this halt, when you see that green line and you get the halt, call it. Say halt at choke so that everybody can focus. Anybody who is supposed to be focusing the choke can focus that target and kill it as fast as possible. They're stunned for about a quarter of a second. So not stunned, but like held in place for a quarter of a second in a predictable location. So they're easy to kill. So anytime you see your halt, call it that you've got it, that you've attached to something, so everyone can just focus the ball. And I guess if you get an invisible Sombra, you can just kill her. That was the only thing. You didn't call it. I just noticed it in the bot. Yeah, this is good. Pyrex goes back. Kind Hands doesn't leave the position, the security of the box, so that he can continue to heal both the team and Pyrex while he's contesting the ball. So we win this fight because they lost their Sombra and they really can't do anything about it. This is where the Conk comes in. Conk comes down, knocks Orisa forward, and Healer's back. Ball's still in the background, but they've already lost this fight. They can't really, unless they get a pick here, they can't push it. They do. So Ryder takes the absolute longest way around to get back up top. But Karma makes the right decision and backs up, uses cover, waits for the shield to come back. Nobody gets picked off. You guys all play safe. You guys are playing excellent in these VODs. You're like making good decisions. You're not overextending. Pyrex is, except for this, maybe you're chasing this ball. The ball is low on health, so you could kill him, maybe, but he is faster than you.
Yeah, I probably should have just gone back to point.
You could have gone back to point, or you could have gone back here, because he's gonna go run around, collect health packs, harass and stuff. But once you focus on him, you can't be in position to like help the team, because now you're off on the one side. So just extend a little bit, but don't extend too far, chasing a target in the back line. There's no point. If they're not on the objective, they're not doing anything for their team, and if they're not attacking you, they're not doing anything for themselves to build an ult. So. Okay, so our lamp all gets called out, gets killed. Trying to get out. And you did come back to the group, so this works out fine. I think this is where the Hanzo gets called out in the bakery.
Okay, so that's called bakery.
Yeah. So we have bakery, because it's a bakery. Police station, or you can say police. Pillar. Some people call this like stage. I don't know what the official name for this one is, though. So, and then this is like hat shop. Hats.
At haberdashery.
Haberdashery. That's a good.
Yes.
That seems a little.
They're all at haberdashery. They're all at
Yeah, I mean that's what yeah.
It's a
That's
hat
it.
shot. I mean,
That's what a haberdashery is.
Yeah.
right.
Sure. How many syllables? Haberdasher. Sorry, I'm on caffeine. Hat shop is a little more fun to say too. Rolls off the tongue. Hat shop, or is it?
But either one you want to use, that's fine, as long as everybody knows what you're talking about. So let's go back. Okay. So there was a call for a grab, but they don't have a Zarya, which I think there was a call. It was meant to be a call for the EMP, and it gets corrected later. But, you know, that's just a... Okay. So, yep, the call for the cafe. Hanzo gets picked off because he's out of position. Okay, again, she's coming up on grab soon. I think this is coming up on barrage. Notice that they haven't done much damage. They've been stuck in the choke. The ball's been kind of running around poking at people, but like Sombra died early. Farah and Hanzo and Soldier haven't been able to get past this choke. So nobody's been able to build much ults. The only person even close to getting their ult is Mercy, just because she's healing up flash damage or poke damage that her team takes. So this is, I think, the point at which okay. So this is a decision. Pyrex calls for help because there are two, Ball and Sombra on point. That's also because you're getting shot in the back from a soldier. But where's that? That might be Hanzo. Who knows? We'll find out. It's a soldier. Okay. So this was a good call. You called for help. Cat comes to heal you while you take cover. You let them sit on the point. You're not going to let them have the whole point. But because there's a call for help, there's two people on the point now. You need a little more extra support. And then there was a call to pull back. You called to pull back, Ryder. You called to pull back. Let's see, where's that pullback? Okay, you call for the pullback. You do not retreat. So this is a point of what you said and what you did are confusing the issue. You said, let's pull back. Karma starts to pull back. You don't. Karma starts to go forward again, and then you're pulling back, and now Karma's like, wait a minute. Yeah. Gonna get a little bit of Benny Hill running here. So, Immortality Field to keep Pyrex up. So this is what I want to get at. When you decide to stop focusing on the choke and start focusing on the point, you give up all of this space. Because of this choke, they can't get through. They can try to get in through here and go this way, which a couple of them are taking advantage of. But as soon as you're not focused on the choke and taking people out and you move your focus to the point, you give up all this space. And you have to realize you're doing this. This has to be a conscious decision, because once you've done that, you have to win the fight before you can retake it. So you have to commit to this retreat. If you're going to retreat here and say, okay, we're giving up the choke so that we can, win the fight on the point, because Sombra's on the point with Ball, and Pyrex can't do it all by himself on contesting that. He can jump in and out, whatnot, but to win this fight, we have to get rid of these two. You have two decisions you can make. You can either decide, Pyrex, try to stay alive, and if you need to, give up a point. You jump on the point, and you wait until you get low, or your cooldowns come back, and then you run back inside, get healed a little bit, or run back to the point and get healed a little bit. Take that cover that you did before. I wouldn't take this cover just because it gives line of sight this way, but this cover's not bad because you get this blockage here, and your team can see you. Just as a note.
That's good.
You can also take, the ball was in here at the time, but you could go this way and your team can see you through here. Just as a note about positioning. Once you go here, if the enemy has anybody over here, they have line of sight. So they can additionally attack you. So you can either choose to let Pyrex do this little dance on and off the point, contesting, trying not to give them points while he takes a beating from these two. And you continue to hold the choke, trying to get picks. Or you call for a full retreat and everybody runs back and defends the point. You're going to be defending the point from this building because you're holding here, and that's the retreat path. So you'd set up your shield along this. Let's clear. You'd set up your shield along here or down here if you can, and Bastion gets over here. If you've got time, you can actually set up Bastion over in this corner of the point. There's a nice spot to put him in, where he can't get knocked off, and he can see the whole point in most of this area. But for now, like, you'd move up, you'd put your first shield here, you'd set up your Bastion, everybody would play through this room. Cerulean would watch this door for flankers and behind while spamming the point, and then Pyrex can retreat behind the shield if needed, and then come back out. So now you've taken the fight from fighting on the choke to fighting the point. You've given up all of this space to do it, but that's the decision you've made because you've decided that's how you're going to win this fight. You're going to win this fight on the point, not at the choke. So right here, you make kind of a weird decision. You kind of do half and half. You didn't commit to it. Karma stops on the bridge. Kind Hands is kind of taking a break. Then Ryder comes back out because Karma stopped. And then Karma goes in. Ryder goes back out to the choke. And then EMP comes out. I think they're going to win this fight off of just alt economy because they've been building alts. Do we? No, we lose Karma. Yeah, okay, so this is just an extended fight. They're going to use all their alts to try to win this fight.
Oof.
Okay. So this fight really got started, was lost. Like a minute ago. So once the call for the retreat happened, and the retreat didn't fully happen, and then there was this dance back and forth, we had no defensive setup. You're a bunker. You play from a specific point. You don't split out. They want you to split up. They're a split comp. They're trying to use their mobility and their damage to try to separate you out and take you apart one at a time. And that's exactly what they did. They were able to get Ryder because he went back to the choke. They were able to get Cat because of Visor, right? And then even now, like, Karma's out here trying to get a kill off, but he gets picked off at distance by the Pharah. So I think the retreat was a good call, but it had to be committed to. I'll say that the retreat was a good call. It just needed to. Okay, so you guys make the swap to goats. That's a fine choice. Second point, being able to be mobile and run around and just run on things is fine. Okay, and then you can, okay, so there's ice, globe. Right? So that we don't have the right and left. There's also coast out here, but there's the ice statue in here, and then there's the globe up on the left side. So those are your two locations for like paths that the enemy can come in from. You choose one, the one that you want to take a fight for. You're playing goats, so my suggestion is to play farther up on the left side, usually in one of the hallways. Because then you have the speed from Lucio, so you can transition behind them. You can transition to catch them at this gate. If they come in on the left, if they come in globe side. If they try to come in on ice, they've actually got a like small choke that they have to work their way around. If they come down main, you get to engage them here. If you play on point, if you play like the main gate, the choke, your disadvantage is that they can come in from many angles and get high ground. They can come in left side, and you have no way to rotate on them. You have a very long rotation to come around this way. You have a very wide open rotation to come around this way. If they come in ice, then you can push down on them or push through, but you have no scouting, so you don't know that they're coming this way. Same thing with left. Like, once they're here, they've already gotten past. So, setting up at the left was a good call. Like, on globe. And you guys are... Cat's going to go do Reddit things. Okay, I don't... So, because we're playing goats, I disagree with Cat being way over here. Because now Ryder is low. So is Karma. So is Kind Hand. Everyone is slow now. And cannot chase down these targets that Ryder is calling. Bad cat. Bad. Okay, so you win this fight basically off of them using alts poorly and you taking advantage of it, but you don't have any alts. You've just swapped. The only alt you have is bomb. You giving up. Ryder. Okay, this is a bit of awareness. The McCree pushes up to try to kill your Zen. Karma does the right thing to try to pressure him, but Ryder, you have no clue.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'm looking this way. I'm looking at the soldier. And I'm guessing Cerulean came from the right? What happened here? Show me what happened.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just trying to get it. Prevent that last tick.
Okay, so trying to prevent the second tick, but Ryder could actually, if Ryder had an armor pack right now, as Brig pushed up behind him, one, Cerulean would be being shot in the back. And he could give him an armor pack and give him the security to push up and take that point. So this is just a rollout thing. If you're gonna set up left side, roll out left side. Also, again, without the speed from the Lucio, everybody's slow and cannot chase these mobile heroes. Well, I guess not. I mean, they could chase McCree all day. But he's gonna get more dangerous. So anyway, I think we end up winning this just... Oh, nice pin.
Lucky pin.
Huge.
Got it. We clean up. And now we have alt we can play. And you totally know that it's lucky pin. That's good.
Oh, that was not skill. There was no.
That was Ryder got impatient and pressed the shift button.
I originally wanted to go for the ball and get him out, but he dodged that.
Okay, so I think our lovely little frog is about to die. Because, again, playing by herself. And this just got stunned by McCree. And dead. So now the team doesn't have speed to reposition. So Ryder does the...
Ryder goes in.
Ryder's like,
I'm trying
let's
to one
go.
fix, boys.
He's got a lucky pin. He's going for it.
He's an Avenger. The strongest Avenger.
I'm rolling the dice on this for sure.
I mean, this isn't... We know that the enemy is coming this way. Kat has just told us, like literally said, you know, ball is over here, then gets killed by a McCree. So we know at least 2 people are over here. So going over there, not a horrible idea. We don't have the mobility, and probably don't want to charge in, but we definitely want to take the fight over here and not be... We want to take the fight over here and not be over here and then have to take the fight on the point again. You could push up to this corner and play around this corner so that you pressure them as they come in. But because there are so many entrances here, they can just wrap. So you kind of have to play your... You want to take the fight down here because there's less places that they can flank you from. So getting over there is fine, but nobody else can follow up with you because your mobility pool is dead. So let's see how this turns out. You get a lucky pin again.
Dang. That McCree's unlucky.
So skilled, dude. So skilled. Kidding.
Pyrex, you were shooting at the soldier, I think, and he demechs you.
Can you see that again?
Yeah. So Ryder gets a lucky pin. You're shooting at main on soldier, and you get knocked out by soldier. So now the fight is in 2 places. It's here and here.
Yeah, there's
This
a Farah that went over me.
right now. This is a point of Ryder with, you know, a bone going a little too far. I'm sure there is a juicy target back here, probably the ball, because that's the Mercy, that's the soldier, there's the Farah. McCree is dead.
Sombra.
So maybe Sombra? Anyway. But chased maybe a little too far. Let's see if we get the kill. And if we lose the Zen in process. Oh, look at that. Zen's dead. We do kill the Sombra. You bunny blaster the Farah dead.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we reset up.
How long does Zen's Discord last after death?
It lasts for 3 seconds after losing line of sight. I don't know if it stays after death.
I don't think
Cause
Probably.
Because that one, like, you got the assist for that kill, even after you were dead. So that was
It
interesting.
must be 3 seconds then. It must stay for 3 seconds because it's 3 seconds after you lose line of sight.
Yeah.
Okay, so did Kat learn her lesson? She's kind of playing with the team now. Okay, you guys are talking about what you're going to play and what they're going to play.
I'm
Okay.
trying with this camera
So-
angle.
Yeah, it's a weird point. So at this point, you knew that they had EMP. You had decided that you were going to shatter bomb. But if they have EMP and you have trance, where should your Zen be?
Not here.
Like if everybody's playing on the point, waiting for them to push in and whatnot, Zen should be out of line of sight for the most part, peeking. So that when the EMP goes off, Zen doesn't get hit and trance can come out, save the whole team. This is just you have a plan, EMP's coming, and you have a support alt. It wouldn't have mattered if it was the Zen or the Lucio, whoever has the support alt. That support player now has to play split from the team. So when the EMP goes off, they can use their alt to save the rest of the fight. Rally is an okay one, but it's not going to save the fight. Because your plan is to use Hammer Bomb, which honestly, just using Hammer and trying to win the fight off of it would probably have been fine. And then waiting for the grab bomb, and then getting a couple in grab, because they don't have a shield or a defensive ult to save them from it. You probably wouldn't even need the bomb at that point. You could probably just go one alt at a time, since they have no defense. Okay. So just as a note, if you know that they have EMP, you're playing goats, one of your supports, whoever has the support alt ready and up, needs to play a little split, because then the Sombra has to make a choice. Do I EMP this support player that I know has a support alt, or do I EMP the rest of the team? And especially at this level, they will probably choose to just EMP the team and win the fight, and then the support call will come out and they'll be like, oh my god, I thought I got the Zen level. And they'll rage and they'll quit. It'll be fun. Okay, and then that EMP comes out and gets everybody but Brig, but Cerulean. So Cerulean alts, try to win the fight.
Sorry.
And then we get the
Massive.
and massive bomb grab combo. So we're able to turn the fight. We don't even lose another tick. I would have even said that you could have lost a tick here and then push back on, but Karma sees a good opportunity, throws the grab, bomb comes out, 3 are dead. They've already spent all their alts, so you're going to win this fight. When did they switch to an Ash? Because they had a Hanzo. When did the Ash switch come? Was that last fight? Yeah, that was last, because they had a McCree. Okay. So anyway, big plays, good job. You saw an opportunity, took it, you won the fight off of it. And now you have a minute and 40 to hold. Ryder comes charging through just to let everybody know that he's still here.
Oh yeah.
So now you have 2 defensive alts. They're coming up on this is how crazy this is. They just used balls, right? They just used mines. Now they already have it again. They haven't used Pharah's ult in a while, so you guys should know that they should have Barrage now. So you have to make the decision. Which one are you going to use on which? Right? You're probably not going to use a defensive ult on mines unless it is huge, unless they get a decent slam with mines all over the point and you need to be on the point. So this is where that discussion comes in. And Ryder still has Earthshatter to just slam anything he wants. Okay. So there was a quick switch to Karma from Zarya. Had already used his ult. Switched to McCree. I don't know what this is for. Maybe to get rid of the Pharah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Because they knew the Pharah was coming in. You didn't have. So this means that the Ryan has to play a little more defensively because he doesn't have bubbles. But you're not going up against a Goats comp, so it's not as important to have those bubbles. They don't have an Ana, that sort of thing. Having the D.Va is still very important because they have all that long range damage, big chunky damage like Far's rockets and barrage. Even just Ash's Viper shots.
So we're splitting here.
Yeah. Like we went to point. Okay.
Team back on the mines. Oh my god, what did I just do? Oh my god.
No. Okay. We gotta do this. D. Okay. Pyrex, your sleeper. So Pyrex come into point to contest because Ball got to point. That's fine. That's D.Va's job. Cerulean coming here. You're not gonna catch the ball. Like if you get a good stun on it, but you're not gonna kill it with the D.Va. Ryder goes this way, and nobody else goes. So we end up being really split. Honestly, what I would have liked to see is the Pyrex go to point, contest the Hammond, make him waste his ult, and not walk into it.
Oh man.
And then everyone else just kind of wrap around with Ryder as he pushes forward, because Ryder gets protection, he gets the speed boost. Karma can get some line of sight shots on the heroes that are pushed out over here, trying to use that space that Hammond made to push in. So, but you ended up being really split. I think Karma gets a kill here. Second. Except for no. Okay, so everybody's back on point. Except for Ryder, who's chasing something.
I had Cat with.
Except
You
for
did, you did.
Pyrex, who dies.
Oh, that's to Ash though, wasn't the mines.
No, that was to
He's
the
on
mines.
mines.
Oh, was it? Oh man, let's play like a bot, I guess.
You're getting rid of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were just remeching faster. You're like, oh, I just need a remech now. The fight's won. Let me just run into this mine.
It's closer than the cliff.
Okay. 30 seconds. They've got one fight. They haven't used barrage. Okay, Cat calls barrage. Okay, and Cat says they have EMP, I'm hiding for that. It's a little early for EMP, but it's a good idea to try to hide. Okay, High Noon comes out, back onto point, hammer onto Ash, just to get rid of. Cat almost ruins it. Okay, so Sound Barrier comes out, but only catches. Okay, let me look at this. The Sombra played this either really well or really poorly. So Hammer down, Barrage comes out, but mostly gets eaten, doesn't get any value. Yeah. So Sound Barrier goes down, and then EMP comes out, but EMP comes out and the Sombra is still in these pillars. So like in between here. And it because of the line of sight cut off, Pyrex gets the Sound Barrier. Just outside of EMP range, right? And Ryder is for some reason not affected by EMP,
He is. It says it's hacked.
but he doesn't lose Sound Barrier. This is
Whoa. Glitchy game.
game is just
If
full
Lucio,
Hmm?
if does it matter if Lucio gets hacked?
It does not matter. It's whoever gets hit. So it gets rid of shields on whatever target gets hit. So this is just a weird situation because Ryder gets hacked, but doesn't loses like Sound Barrier.
Weird.
So I don't know if there was a cover, like he was behind cover for a second, or if the Sombra was at a weird angle. This is where the replay system would be really interesting. So, because then we could look at the Sombra's point of view, see where she was when the EMP went off. Anyway, that would be for something else. But you guys play this well. It's last fight, so you use ults as you need them. You're calling targets. You guys are communicating what your next target is. Good job. GG's.
Bees.
Okay.
Jeez.
Let's see how this next point goes. Because it is much shorter. Okay. Do you guys actually roll out with the Sombra? Or the Symmetra?
I don't think we do. No, because Cat was on main support. Don't.
Okay. Okay, so we're playing a 2-2-2, but we're basically playing the split comp version of the 2-2-2 because we've got a ball instead of Winston. And we've got Diva. So we're playing for this EMP. We're being very greedy in our supports. No defensive ults. And lots of healing. So they have a bunker comp, but they have less control, right? Basically, they don't have a diva, so they have no one to like cover the point. The hog takes the place of your Junkrat, and you have a widow instead of what I would normally put in the Hanzo, or in the case when you guys were doing it, you were doing the Junkrat and you had a diva. So the widow could cover the point, but not like be on it. And if Roadhog can get his fat butt from this corner all the way back to point, he can help contest it. But honestly, I think it's going to end up being somebody. See how this plays out. Okay, so we get the Pharah at the end. Okay, let's see. Okay, excellent. Sombra gets in, calls out where everybody is and locations. So like what they have and where. And then Ryder immediately goes into what he's going to do. Goes around, goes to point, and they start to back up to nice conk to knock them off. So they're all split up. Okay, so there are no calls for targets, like anyone being hit or whatnot. And Pyrex, you leave Cat.
Oh my.
can hear her calling, Pyrex, Pyrex, Pyrex. Okay. So, Ryder goes through, knocks down the Orisa. This would have been actually a good call right here if you called the Orisa, knocked Orisa to choke. And anybody who has line of sight could try to take a shot off. She's also purple, be a good call out. None of those call outs. Okay, we get the Bastion down. The Widow gets rezzed instead of the Bastion, because the Widow is important in this situation. No target calls.
Yeah, I'm still trying to like work out the bugs on my
Okay.
like
So for split comps, for multi DPS comps, you are going to play. Everyone is going to play a lot more independent. So you're not trying to call a focus target as much. You're trying to call the target that you're on and their status. So I slammed Mercy on point, or I'm slamming Mercy on point. Everyone will know you just did 50 damage, or roughly 50 damage to a Mercy on point. She is stuck in animation for a second, and you're going to putting damage on her, meaning that she's a target. And if anyone's nearby, they can also focus. But everyone in a split comp should be doing that so that everybody can pick their targets and help in the fights they need to. You're going to be taking a lot of 2v1s, 1v1s, picking off targets that are out of place. Like this Roadhog is prime example, right? He's by pillar, by himself. So Pirates just got res, but Karma's down here, could rotate to Hat Shop and take shots and be out of line of sight, but is being pressured by, looks like the Pharah.
that's their rezzed Widow.
Oh, no, yeah. So there's Pyrex. So there's their Widow pressuring Karma. That is Kind Hands rotating.
That's me getting chased by a Roadhog.
Are you on top?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
feels
behind the
bad,
pillar.
man. Let's. You die? Kind of curious. You don't. You do think that you're gonna die. You call that I'm dead to this Roadhog, and then you don't. So again, playing the split comp, it's a lot harder because when we're playing dive or we're playing goats, hitting a target is usually whatever the main tank's on, or whatever is a diveable target. In split comp, you're looking for people that are out of position. You're looking for people that you've done damage to so that other people can follow up on it. So it's a lot of taking multiple angles, getting your abilities off, being able to use them appropriately. Ryder, how long are you with low on health? Okay, so you're getting out right here. This is you leave Cat.
Oh no.
You're not actually low on health very long, but if you're this low, and since you're so mobile, know where the health packs are.
Right.
Like, just don't rely so heavily on, if you know you can get to a place that your healers can get to you, great. But you're so mobile, just swing to a health pack, get a little bit of that health back at least, and then you can let your swing back out to let your healers get the rest of it. Especially when you're like literally one.
Right.
Okay. Karma gets the Roadhog, who was out of position, so good talk. No calls about the Mercy. Pendulum swings.
Ooh, full rotation.
Nice.
Slam onto nothing. I mean, you guys are slowly winning this fight because
Ooh, am I gonna knock him off from the back? Yes.
There we
Nice.
go. That
the
one was
EMP comes
beautiful.
in, bombs are knocked, Roadhog gets pushed off, or he jumps off. And now it's just a mercy. Okay, so that was a good one. There was no real coordination there, but that's okay, right? Split comps are very much about like doing things in the moment. We have like there's a bit of planning, like we're gonna use this alt next fight or in this push, or I'm gonna use this, but it's really spur of the moment, doing it as you go. It feels very quick play-ish, but you're also looking for set plays in the way like you push people out of that room and EMP and bombs went off, so they had no abilities to counter it.
Yeah,
So
hitting
you
them
call that you're going to
instantly.
knock them off, knocks them up. Oh, that is a awful hook for you. And then they're blowing alts to try to win the fight, and they win.
Ooh, asleep on the widow.
Yeah.
Yeah, push in.
I mean, sights are down now.
Sorry about my camera. I was just taking a tour.
You're just like, I love this place. It's so nice. Okay, but the fight hasn't even started. Karma's moved up on the left. Okay, you called that you knocked the Orisa down. Good. I mean, like you're getting more comfortable with calling as the match goes on. Thrillian gets the Widow from the back. She's probably out of position. Let's find out.
Oh, I'm dead here.
Oh yeah, you die. You're totally okay.
Widow on the left. Yeah.
Yeah, Widow's right here. So Widow is out of place. So this is actually a perfect target for a split comp to take care of, right? Ryder's going in for, knocks off the Orisa. The Orisa's out of position, so she can be focused. The Bastion's now exposed, so he can be focused, but he's got healing support. But the Widow is all by herself, so she is a great early target to take care of. And also, she's not great at stalling, so you get rid of her, and she comes back late in the fight, and whatever. So that was a good pick off. Brilliant. And then you get halted. You use, and the Bastion gets a good hit. Hog tries to alt, but gets melted. You guys are playing around cover very well. Bastion down. Okay.
Ah, dude, we cleaned that up. Nice.
Focus ball. Very nice. I think that all came down to good positioning, right? Like the rotation. Back. Talk about the really good positioning here, if we can get a good angle on it. Because with the split comp, you want to take multiple angles. So they're set up here. Their Widow is over here, but gets picked off. Not yet, but is about to. When they start rotating in this direction, everybody rotates this way, which is great because you're all long-range heroes. You don't want to be in a close-range fight, and you want to continue to have cover and line of sight. So using statue as cover so that you can continue to control point and keep them off. Great, awesome, perfect. This was a good rotation for Karma and Pyrex and Cat, right? I have no idea where Hands is in this entire fight.
It's
I'm
in
main.
main.
Main? Okay. Yeah, I see
There.
the nade
Yeah.
comes in. Karma comes around. They're coming this way, so So Hog gets melted because he goes under point first. Try to contest. I'm surprised you got away with that.
Yeah, no, I am too.
Like standing out here, Bastion right here. How are
And
you
a
not
widow to
dead?
the left.
And a widow
Yeah,
over
I
here.
know.
Like, well, the widow. You might actually bat out of line of sight of the widow because of the statue, right? But how?
That pocket though.
Double pocket. So, but yeah, good job. Like you're on point. You rotated around. Ryder's coming back after being dead, but it won't matter because you guys win it.
Huge sleep.
And that's it. So I think the only thing I would have liked to see on the attack round is just more calls. Like you executed it well and you whittled them down. You played for your alts. Like when you're playing the split comp with the Sombra, you're playing for the EMP. You're playing to deny them their abilities. Bastion not being in sentry form or them using any defensive alts to try to save themselves. Not that they had many. Playing the Sombra means that you're playing for that EMP and the big alt that it can come from. So you get your soldier and your EMP up, and you win the fight. You get your bombs and your EMP, and you win the fight. Or you can play for Nano Visor if you know they don't have defensive alt. Right? Especially since they're not running a diva, you just win that fight. They're not going to eat any of it, and you can destroy their shield before they can get another one. So, yeah.
What do you think about 3 versus 4 DPS with a ball comp?
Okay. When you play the 4 DPS you are relying that each and every single one of the heroes are not going to get healed. Right? The Mercy is not there to heal you at that point. You are being super greedy. You're saying Mercy's going to res somebody if necessary and if they can. Going to heal if necessary and they can. Very mobile, so she can get in and out as long as she has targets to fly to, so you stay split up. She can fly around. If they decided to play more... so you're going to be playing with a lot less healing, and you're going to be playing with the lack of a defensive ult. You're already playing the lack of defensive ult because you're playing the Ana instead of a Lucio. Most of these multi-DPS comps, I see them play either the soldier is a Genji and they play the Ana, or they play a Lucio and they play like a Tracer. And sometimes they drop the healer and they play a diva. So, but my opinion is that if you think you can play without the extra healing, which you seem to be doing just fine. The only person who needed healing was Ryder, and again, he could go get health packs if he really needed to. So you could play another DPS here. Play a mobile DPS like Genji or Tracer.
Nice.
He's looking forward to it. He's like, yes, my time has come. Now, again, it's all about comfort zone too, because if you're like, I am normally a support player and I don't ever get to play DPS, and now I have to play DPS I'm not very familiar with, then it's not going to help you anymore. It's gonna hurt you more than having you on a hero you're comfortable with. So, I think the 3 DPS, 2 healers is fine. I'd like to see it with a defensive ult instead. So it does put a weak spot in, because if you play Zen here, or Ana, you end up having a really... Yeah, but if you play... I'm just listing things.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just drawing. Let me draw.
Sorry.
If you play those two, they're very diveable heroes. So all of the other heroes are very mobile. They're not going to get caught out too often. Hanzo might be an exception, but you were playing Pharah for most of the match. So if they have any backline flankers, if they had the Sombra of their own, or if they were playing a Tracer, this hero would be in need of a lot more attention. Peeling, or would be able to participate in the fight as often, because they'd be worried about. So playing a Lucio, if I could spell it, whatever, or even a Moira, although I'm against it, would be better because of the mobility, to match up with the rest of the mobility of the comp. Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Felt like I went on a bit of a rant. Other questions, comments, cries of anguish.
I think we just like let's practice it, because it's like actually a fucking lot of fun.
I honestly, on 2 CP maps, I think it's an amazing comp that works really well. Even if they're playing goats, you just try to play for alts. You don't try to play, like, you don't try to engage them too heavily. You poke at them from range, because the only person they have to like take you out from range is a diva and a Zen. Zen can ruin your day if you're unlucky. But depending on the map, your composition might change. You're attacking on Temple of Anubis first. You might want to run a Widow instead of the Soldier, because she can take the high ground and shoot through over the gate and just cover that entire area while everybody takes different angles. So thinking about the layout of the map and what heroes work better to try to surround and attack your enemies from multiple sides until you can build up to your win condition, and then you win it. The only issue with the split comp is that it can be very slow if you're playing for that alt and you don't get it, or you get caught out. So my team, the team I play on right now, we have a person who wants to play Sombras desperately, but they're so bad at it. So they always get caught out, and they never build their EMP, so we can never push in on Paris. And it feels bad, man. So the trying to play for your win condition, and I definitely think you guys do an excellent job with this multi DPS. So keep doing it. Push it on different maps. 2 CP maps are great for it, because there's multiple angles and they're going to be playing usually in a single location. The only thing you have to worry about is that you have to play for your win condition. You have to try to pick them off with alts or well-timed damage dealing. So anything else?
Good.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
So I will be around tomorrow for the scrim to take overheads, so we don't have to watch Char's overheads.
NA
they weren't that bad.
recorder, NA scrim lobby leader.
Speaking of, I'm gonna be out tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. Sorry for not posting. I totally forgot. It's been busy. So Char, it looks like you'll be getting that main tank practice in, but I'll be back on Sunday.
Yogi.
Yeah, we have some tryouts tomorrow, so we should be all set for people.
Yeah, nice.
All right, it's both supports, right? Like try out for different support roles.
It's a DPS and a support tomorrow.
Okay.
And another one on Sunday.
Cool.
Cool. Well, if no one has any other questions, comments, complaints, I release you into the wild.
Hold on.
Radio.
Here's our nap review tradition.
What is the DPS?
Thank you.